board, honoring and supporting board decisions at all times aligned with board policies and procedures. The Board of Education members will be prepared for meetings. The board will review the packet details and submit questions within the established time frame. Questions at meetings should be limited and specific to information not presented in the packet details. No surprises at meetings. Extend courtesy for each member's questions. Members of the board will arrive 10 minutes prior to the start of meetings if possible. Administration will release board packets to the Riverview Garden School District Board of Education within the identified time frame. We will not allow outside entities to dictate board actions. Riverview Garden School District Board of Education decisions will be made based on facts, policies, and procedures, not individual opinions or requests. We will educate and encourage the community to follow proper protocols for voicing concerns, policy KC, community engagement.
May we have a motion to approve the agenda? It's been motioned by Mr. Williams and second by Ms. Jackson. All in favor? Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposes? None. Thank you.
Testing.
Mr. Ishmael, Riverview Excellence.
Good evening, Board of Education members, Dr. Patton, colleagues and community, and students. I know we have at least one student here this evening. Appreciate you all for coming tonight. It's a packed house, and I'm sure everybody's staying for the whole meeting, so. Just kidding. A lot of these people are here for Riverview Excellence, which means we have a lot of excellence in this building. The first two individuals were rolled over from last month. Can Rayshawn Montgomery please stand, just so him come in? Come on up, come on up. And also Peyton Valiant is out of the country. Does Peyton have any representatives? Okay, her mom is here. Thank you. Ms. Valiant, come on up, Ms. Valiant. And as I mentioned last month, Peyton and Rashawn were named Mr. and Ms. Teen Juneteenth. Recently by the Juneteenth Project, they were honored at the Juneteenth State of Us Scholarship Program on June 13. And they went around the community. There's some photos that you see on the screen, and I'm gonna put Rayshawn on the spot and let him speak, but and just tell us about the tour. But they submitted essays, they underwent training, and they both received scholarship awards of $2,500. And they went, yep, that's a round of applause. And they both were from Riverview Gardens High School, and as I mentioned, they went to Juneteenth events in Dalewood and other communities throughout that whole Juneteenth, maybe about 2 weeks. Ms. T.J. said they were on a tour. So Rashawn, if you could tell us a little bit about the tour and about your experience.
Hello, you all.
Hello.
My name is Rayshawn Montgomery. As you all just heard, I am you all's inaugural Mr. Teen Juneteenth. I would just say I'm really honored to have this experience. I honestly enjoyed it. Throughout the week, we went to a lot of parades. Y'all know it was real hot outside. A lot of parades. It was fun. We passed out candy to the kids, and the overall experience of being able to write an essay about what freedom was to me. It was touching, and it made me learn a lot of things about my history, especially having to write to people. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you all.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And Ms. Davis is going to speak on behalf of Peyton, who is out of the country right now.
Hi, everybody. I am Lena Davis. Peyton is out of the country on a cruise. She's celebrating her accomplishments. I just want to say I'm very honored and proud of her. I'm just really, a little emotional, but I'm really excited for what she's been able to do at Riverview. We have a stigma, so it's just amazing the work that she's put in and she's applied herself.
Yes, ma'am.
And excellence is at Riverview. And I'm just proud. I'm gonna keep her busy. She loves the school. She doesn't want to do anything else. She's involved in extracurricular activities, and I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity, and even from all the way from elementary. So, thank you.
Before you
Appreciate- yes.
leave, and you, sir, behind her, your daughter has been in our district how long? When did,
Oh, since maybe third grade.
third grade? And when did you come? Fourth grade. How was the attendance for your daughter?
Oh, she's very present.
Okay,
she's
how
al-
was your attendance, sir? So this proves that if our students are
Yes.
at school every day and like you
Mhm.
said, take advantage of what's being offered, our students do extremely well.
They do
That-
very well.
Thank you.
A
That
lot of
stigma is not true.
It's
So-
not true. A lot of
Okay.
people have asked, like, how is she in so much stuff? What is she doing? What's going on at the school? So it's like piquing interest, but she is there and she is involved in things. So
Amen.
she gets the opportunities.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for making sure she was here. Thank you. And Mr. Juneteenth, thank you for coming.
Excuse me. Oh, do you want to show your sash?
Now, you know, when you take the picture with us, you're gonna have to put it on.
All right, amazing, and thank you all for being here. Next up, we have, I believe, some safety and security officers here in the building. And when I received the nomination for 9 awardees, I said, 9.
Yes.
And, I pushed back a little bit. I said, 9, you got that many people? Do they really deserve it? And I was told they really deserve it. These are 9 outstanding. This isn't
Yeah.
everybody gets surprised. These people are here every day. They are performing their duties to protect and serve Riverview Garden School District with professionalism and unwavering commitment. They have remained focused on the mission of protecting students, staff, and visitors. Their persistence, reliability, and positive attitude have ensured continuity of operations and maintained a safe learning environment through the district. And I won't read all of this, it is here, but I will say that these 9 individuals are working hard in our schools every day, day in and day out. And I know that it's nary a dull moment, as they say. There are lots of things that go on in school districts, some that we may know of, some that we don't. And our security officers really step up to the plate on a daily basis, and a lot of times go above and beyond security. They are securing the building, but they're also embedded in our schools. They're working with students. They're helping out at recess. They're helping lunch duty. And so they're really building that relationship with our students. And so I am going to read each of their names, and if you can come up and get your award when I read your name. First, Jarrell Baker. Charles Brown. He's not here this evening. Another job, working hard. Oh, yeah. Okay. Greg Clark. Mr. Newton, come on over here. Miss Newton's in the back. Feel like you should hand them the certificates. That's the appropriate piece. I'll do this one. Darnell Dubois, did I say that correctly? Not here tonight. Ryan Johnson. Terrell Whitfield.
Yeah.
Christian Thompson. Daryl Taylor.
Was that his mama over there? Is that mama? What's going on?
And David McFerrin. And as he comes up, I'm gonna put Mr. Newton on the spot to say some words about these
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And so my other team members don't get mad. We have currently 27 officers that really do an outstanding job. These individuals are recognized just because of the situation they're in, but they come to work every day. They have a positive attitude. They don't complain. They just do what we ask them to do, and they do it to the fullest. So we wanted to recognize them. Mitchell, Woodard, Gordon, we just got together one day, said, we got to recognize these all.
Thank
They do an outstanding job, and they
Very good.
represent Riverview.
Excellent.
All right, since we have the security team here, we're gonna have them come up first with the board members.
I do want to say, Ishmael, you said all the things they do, but they also, when we were out knocking on doors, canvassing the neighborhood, they are there, they are following us. They're making sure we're okay. So they go, and that's usually on a Saturday. So thank you all for your commitment to this district. Wherever we are, you make sure we are taken care of. Whether it is making sure that, getting doors, making sure we're safe, you all do it smiling, always kind, and it shows you are very deserving. And so, I'm with Mr. Newton. Hats off to all of you. Hats off to all of you.
There you go.
You really don't have to stay for the whole meeting.
Now, I just asked them to stay for a quick second.
Hey.
I got something for them. And that concludes Riverview Excellence.
Thank you, Mr. Fishman. Okay. Now we're at public comments. Ms. Shea, did we have any public comments this evening? Do we have any board announcements this evening?
Yes, ma'am, I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to inform, well, to our community and, employees and board members, the 17 regions executive committee members that represent advocacy, we are in the, we're getting ready to start planning for the 26-27 school year. One of the things that we're going to be doing is they're teaching us how to advocate for our districts all the more, but what we're going to be doing is learning how to, if we want to testify before the Senate or the House or whatever. So we're getting ready to start trying to have meetings basically to narrow down some positions that we would like MSBA to really focus on as we learn how to advocate for our districts. I haven't testified before, but I have written for someone that testified not on just Riverview's behalf, but Region 7's behalf. So we really want to be, it says, our goal is to continue to build opportunities for the regional advocacy members to engage in MSBA legislative efforts. And so just wanted to let you guys know that that'll be taking place. And then also, if there are some advocacy positions that you would like to be reviewed or reconsidered, or even add some additional ones added on, you can reach out to Caitlin Whaley, or you can reach out to me and send me those advocacy positions. They're due by August the 23rd. And that'll be something that we'll be discussing as we prepare, or just to discuss the positions that show up in that delegate assembly booklet. So just wanted to share that information.
Ms. Morrill, is that a separate, is that when you say the delegate assembly booklet?
The delegate, there are 17 regions in the Missouri School Board Association, and each region has what they call an executive committee group. And they have a committee person that represents advocacy for their region, leadership development for their region. And then we also have someone that represents us on the board of directors. So it'll be all 17. And I'm happy to say that there were some districts that didn't have advocacy, but we were reaching out to some of them and expressing the importance of having advocates. And so now we have representation in all 17 regions as far as advocacy is concerned. And so we're excited about trying to get to know one another, and just share ideas and things that concern us, not only as regional people, but as representatives of all the school districts that are associated with MSBA.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other board members would make an announcement? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Jackson?
Can you all hear me? Okay. Uh, July the 25th, Castle Point is having a community event. This event is sponsored by just people in the neighborhood that decided that this is the second year they've done it. And they have an event in the park and it's called Not Forgotten. It is between 12 PM and 4 PM. And this year, I am happy to say that we have vendor tables that's gonna be there, resource tables is gonna be there. Elected officials are gonna be stopping by. And the Lavish Elite Step Team, formerly known as the Lavish LCG Girls, because she's going wide now. She's gonna be in competition, so they're gonna be there performing. So save the date. I hope some of the board members can come stop by to just show support for the community.
Where is it?
It's at Castle Point Park.
Also point.
And it is July the 25th and it starts at 12 PM. They're gonna have food, games, all kinds of stuff for the kids. And we have a bunch of elected officials that are getting ready to be running for election August the 4th. They're gonna be out there. So come and talk to your elected officials, get a chance to ask them some questions and catch them off guard. Like that's what I like to do, catch them off guard, and you'll see the real person.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Mr. Williams?
Question. How many in here are familiar with the bylaws of education?
I can't hear you.
I said, how many in here, especially educators, are familiar with the rules and regulations are for education, students and parents? Okay. I work with the union, St. Louis Board of Education, and I had to go around educating the teachers on the rules and regulations that help govern school districts. And it became very informative and it really helped protect a lot of teachers from ignorance. And I was just suggesting it would be good if our union can come in and give some information to our teachers about the bylaws of education. There's a book I have at home called School Law. And as I went around to the different schools, they were there was no educator who was knowledgeable of anything about school law. So I think it'd be a good idea if we could have a PD, just have a union rep come in and just listen to the teacher's concern and have them be able to address that information.
So let me make sure I understand. There is a publication that's called Bylaws of Education.
Well,
Is that like the book that I asked you to order?
no. For the St. Louis Board of Education, I know it's in the archives, but there are some rules and regulations that I had to learn. And I don't know if y'all have them here, but I had to learn those rules and regulations to help protect a lot of teachers from just saying one word to a student that student went home and told the parent that teacher said he lied. Just simple things. And I just think the union would have that information and bring it to the teachers here and just give them some insight of how to speak to the students and what they're protected up under. Because believe it or not, back in the 80s when I was teaching, administrators really supported teachers. But as time went on, administrators were informed to stay away from any conflict. So the teachers became unprotected. And a lot of teachers were fired for frivolous things. So the union stepped in and started educating the teachers on school law, the bylaws and the rules and regulations, and the handbook. Do we have a handbook?
We do.
And it's passed out to each student?
Yes.
Okay, that is your Bible. And if you stand by those rules and regulations, extend from the time that child gets on that bus, come to this school and get off of that bus, and surrounding perimeters of that site that they are released off the bus. So we're responsible for that child the entire day, from the time they get on that bus to the time they get off. But teachers need to know what their roles and responsibilities are. And I think the union would be the person, the entity to address that information.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
just reminded me there was something else that I was supposed to just maybe make a request of our board is, and that is that, a lot of people are signing up to be school board members, but a lot of people are not necessarily taking the steps to become certified board members, and that's something that some people that are on boards are going to be contacted about, because you know, it's law that you're supposed to get your at least certified board member certification to be on a school board. And so what we're trying to do as regional leaders of MSBA committees is encourage board members to try to get higher statuses. So I think the next status would be the advanced. And so we're just encouraging board members to continue your training and, you know, to try to work your way up to distinguished. So.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Anybody else? Our board coordinator has that information. The requirements of what's necessary to move from stage to stage, advance, and Ms., we are honored to have Ms. Moore is, oh my, what's your title?
Distinguished.
Distinguished.
Yeah.
She is a distinguished Board of Education member, which is the highest, is it not?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
So, thank you, Ms.
Yeah.
Moore.
And I have books that you can use too over time.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if anybody is going after their advanced, I have a library of books that people can use
You will be our
to meet those
resource.
requirements.
Thank you so much. Any other any other comments from anyone in the board? Any other comments? So speaking of advocacy, I like to share this article with everyone here and in Zoom land. St. Louis area school districts look at tax increases amid financial strain. The date is June 21, 2026. Area school districts are weighing tax increases as a funding crisis loom over public education. At least 4 local districts are considering ballot measures, with 2, Webster Groves and Parkway, surveying residents about whether we would support tax hikes. 2 other districts already have asked constituents for more of a time when rising expenses from insurance to salaries are tightening and school budgets amid declining federal and state funding. Voters in the Ferguson-Florissant approved a 48-cent property tax increase in April to stem multi-million-dollar shortfalls following a turbulent year of cuts. The district now projects it will end this year with a $3 million surplus. The same month, Rockwood sought its first operating rate increase in 30 years to help sustain teacher raises. In 30 years, voters rejected the measure. Other school districts, including Melville, Riverview Gardens, Hazelwood, and Francis Howell, have considered or already received the green light from residents to direct more of their tax levies to operations from debt service. The move indicates public schools will lean more on local tax dollars as they navigate what district leaders have described as a perfect storm of funding challenges. Linda Quinley, Senior Director of School Finance for the Missouri School Board Association, said she anticipates every Missouri school district will evaluate whether to ask voters for tax increases within the next 3 years. You always worry that the terrible times are coming, Quinlan said. Now we're truly in the midst of it. Public schools are facing a convergence of issues. Rising costs from supplies and utilities to insurance and salaries are causing many districts' budgets to bleed red. At the same time, changes in state tax laws, such as the senior property tax freeze and the proposal to eliminate Missouri's state income tax, are threatening revenue growth. There also is the issue of enrollment. Public school rolls in Missouri have fallen by 4% since 2000, with a precipitous fall starting in 2020. Even districts in some of the area's most desirable suburbs, including Webster Groves, Kirkwood, and Clayton, have seen fewer students. Further financial strain comes courtesy of the Missouri legislature, which in May failed to fully fund the formula used to distribute state money to public schools. Education funds fell $245 short of the $7,145 target per student spending in 2027. That means a school district of Webster Grove size, for example, will receive about $1 million less in funding for its 4,092 students. Quinley said she expects the state to underfund per pupil spending even more for fiscal 2028, possibly by about $400 less than the $7,145 target. She said the state used a collection of one-time sources this year to lessen the district, but will not have access to that money again. We're concerned about a dramatic decrease, Quinlan said. If you're getting $400 less per pupil 2 years from now, how are districts going to adjust to that? District leaders have two options: cut spending or find new revenue. University City Superintendent Sharonda Hardin-Bartley said her district has managed to stay afloat with the help of grants and corporate donations. However, she said the district is now considering its first tax increase since 2001. The fabric of public education is being dismantled, Hardin-Bartley said. It's a very grim state right now. I'm gonna stop right now. I think that I've made the point clear. We are in all of us, not just Review Garden School District. It is actually the state of Missouri. And not even just Missouri, nationwide. Public education is under attack. So I wanted to read this because there are training sessions that I attend, Ms. Moore-Real, that the board members say that the public is not aware of what's actually happening in our districts. And the only way that we can make sure that the public is aware is for us to say these things in a public meeting so everyone can understand the road that we're about to travel is going to be challenging, but we're going to succeed. It's going to take dedication and commitment on all of our parts. It is not going to be easy. It is not. But we made a commitment to our students, to these families, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that Riverview Gardens stays a viable source for public education. Thank you. So now we're moving to the consent agenda. Can we have a motion to approve the items for consent?
Madam Chair, I so move.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Ms. Moore-Real and second by Ms. Jackson for the items for consent. Any questions, concerns? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Now we're ready for superintendent report.
Thank you, Ms. Lane. I do want to piggyback just a bit off of what you just shared, Ms. Lane. That was actually going to be my second thing, but it seems like I will move it up. We have been, since July of 2024, we identified a $23 million deficit within our school district. We immediately began reduction efforts, and we have been successfully able to reduce that $23 million by 14 million. We still have an $8 to $9 million budget deficit remaining. Now, what does that mean? A deficit means that you are spending more money than you are bringing in. And when that happens, if it happened in your home, you would have to go into your savings if you had it, and you start trying to cover all of your bills while you're reducing. And that's what we have done in Riverview Gardens. I do want to mention that we have sent a survey out because we are going to start coming to our community. We want you to be a part of this discussion. So about 2.5 weeks ago, we sent a survey out, and the survey really spoke to what your thoughts were, how we could generate revenue, what do you think we need to pay more attention to, just things like that. We had so far in 2.5 weeks, 88 responses. We have a community of almost 5,000 students. So I'm asking our community, I'm asking our staff, everyone to fill that survey out so that your voice can be heard and you can have voice in how we move forward. Again, Ms. Lane shared that this is not specific to the Riverview Gardens School District. It is not. All school districts are struggling right now. ESSER funding was a gift, and it also was a curse in some way, because we used the funding for what we were supposed to do, which was student social emotional support, learning loss, and COVID prevention. And that gave us a false sense of security, quite honestly. So we will have Together for a Stronger Future community conversations happening. We will start sending out that information tomorrow morning. We were asking all of our community to come out, help us resolve this problem. Over the last 3 years, our scores have gone up. I am proud to say what we've done. We were 139 points this year. We needed 140 to reach full accreditation points. We haven't been that close in years, and it's been a consistent increase, which means our teachers, our building leaders are working hard in those buildings, and we are all working hard, from the C&I department to central services to human resources, looking for great teachers, to leadership and accountability, supporting building leaders, to student support, making sure we have nurses and social workers. We have done the work that is necessary. You saw a mother stand here today and say her child has gotten what she needed to get out of Riverview Gardens. So this is a great school district. We are going to be struggling like every other school district. And so please join those conversations with us. July 23rd will be the first one at 5:30. That will be held at Meadows Elementary School. Then we'll have a virtual one for the families that maybe can't get there in person. We will have a virtual one on August the 6th at 10 a.m. And then on August 18th, we will have another meeting at 5:30 at Westview Middle School. This information will come out, but I am asking for our community leaders, our elected officials to come out. This area needs to have economic development. That's how we generate more taxes. So Together for a Stronger Future meetings will be held to celebrate our successes. We will share that information with our community. We will also be very transparent in our challenges. And we are asking our community to help us figure this out, come in, be a part of the solution. And so we invite you to come. Again, July 23rd, 5:30 at Meadows Elementary School, August 6th, 10 o'clock, a virtual meeting, 10 o'clock a.m. And then August 18th, 5:30, Westview Middle School. Please come out and join and have your voice be heard. Now I'll go back to what I was first going to say. Schools is set to start on August 24th. Our students' registration is open. It's been open for kindergarten since March. It is open for all, it opened for all grade levels in May. So please go on, get your student registered. If you need support in doing that, call your school's office. They are more than happy to help support you in getting registered. Please remember, we had a boundary realignment this year. Letters went out with your new your new home school in April, and we will send those out again at the end of July, beginning of August, so that our parents are reminded. But school is set to begin, and we will be ready to receive our students. And then our staff returns the week of August 10th. So we will spend the next 4 or 5 weeks getting buildings ready, making sure instructional material are in place so that we can continue the growth that we've been able to witness in this district. Madam President, thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Now we're up to items for information.
Yes, ma'am. Our first item up for information are acknowledgements of donations. Making this presentation is Ms. Deirdre Liddell. She is the Executive Director of Student and Community Support Services. And this is in conjunction with KH Public Gifts to Schools. And Ms. Liddell will also, after that, discuss the Back to School Bash and Convocation. And that is in conjunction with KC Community Engagement. Ms. Liddell?
Greetings to the Riverview Gardens Board of Education, Dr. Patton, colleagues, and community. We are grateful for all of our donations that we receive at the Riverview Gardens School District. All of our donors make things happen every single day for our scholars, whether it is large events like Back to School Bash, attendance incentives, holiday celebrations, class celebrations. Our donors make it happen for us, and we are grateful. The Office of Student Support Services kindly requests the review of the acknowledgement of donations as mentioned on behalf of the school district. Are there any questions? Okay, my next item is Back to School Bash. Back to School Bash will be held Thursday, August 6th at Riverview Gardens High School. Please join us for this celebration that kicks off school. For our scholars, we have free backpack giveaways, food tickets, bounce houses, petting zoos, community resource fair, and all of our partners and organizations will be present at this. We have activities planned for the scholars, as well as haircuts, the immunization van. So anyone that needs their scholars immunized, please make sure that you sign up prior to so they can get on the van and get their immunizations. Are there any questions for Back to School Bash? Okay, I do
Liddell,
want to
can you-
make.
Ms. Liddell, can you talk about the need for students to be registered?
Yes.
To get,
That was my
okay.
next.
Okay.
So the time is from 6 to 8. And I do want to say that all students must be registered in order to receive the tickets for Back to School Bash. And that is on the flyer. It'll be going out again. Our attendance, as far as our enrollment numbers are not where we would like them to be. And all students must be registered in order to get their tickets to receive the free book bags and different things at Back to School Bash.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Mhm.
I had
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the question that I wanted to ask you is, I noticed in Dalewood, it's a couple of families that have moved in with children. So do you send something out to the cities to more or less reach out to those new people to let them know, if they're going to register their students in Riverview, that they need to do it by a certain time? I was just curious. I don't know how that works.
So we send the blasts out there on social
Okay.
media,
Okay.
different things like that.
Okay.
So we're constantly pushing information out
Okay.
to everyone in regard that's within our
Okay.
our radius for
I
our
was
school
just
district.
curious.
The next point of information that I have is convocation. We're excited to hold convocation on Wednesday, August 12th at the Riverview Gardens High School Gymnasium. This is a large shift from how we've done it in the years past, but we are bringing convocation back home. So we'll be in the Riverview Gardens Gymnasium. More information is to come for this. We will have the entire outline of everything that will take place. We are excited about it, about bringing it back home, and we have some special activities and different things planned for that day, along with professional development for the second half of the day.
And we do want to mention that convocation is for our staff. Our staff.
Are there any questions?
Madam Chair.
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
Ms. Liddell, what time is it on the 12th?
So it'll start at 8:30. But all of that information is to come out, but it'll start at 8:30.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Liddell. Our next item up for information is the next request. Annual renewal. Making this presentation is Ms. Sheffield, Coordinator of Board Governance. This presentation is in conjunction with policy BDDL, release of information, and DJF2, purchasing. Ms. Fields.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman. Good evening, board members
Dr.
and
Coleman.
community. Before you this evening, I have, just for information, the renewal of Next Request, which is our public records management platform for the 2026-27 school year. And so just to give you a little information, since 2023, Next Request has provided the district with a centralized cloud-based solution for receiving, tracking, processing, and fulfilling Missouri Sunshine Law requests. The platform has improved my ability to manage records requests efficiently. It has enhanced the communication with the requester, strengthened the accountability through automated workflows. And so what that means is that I'm able to send an email to the individual who may house that record, and then I'm able to have them uploaded and fulfill their request. So the renewal for Next Request includes the economy subscription for up to 5 administrators, one being myself, and then Ms. King, and then we have a couple other people, Ms. Tina Turnipseed is also one. And then it also provides us with 1 terabyte of storage, if that's important. But what's really important for me is it provides us with what we call a rapid review module, where I'm able to redact information. And also our legal counsel uses this portal as well when they assist me with fulfilling various Sunshine Law requests. So the total cost for the renewal, which has already been approved by our superintendent, is in the amount of $10,404.75. And so it will be processed for this upcoming school year. I wanted to also give you a little bit of data. So since 2023, that particular school year, we processed 53 requests through the portal. In 2024, I processed 66 requests in the portal. In 2025, processed 101 requests. And so to date, we have processed 53 requests. Are there any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Fields.
You're welcome.
Madam President, we can move into items for discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
Our first item for discussion is the diligent community renewal. This is in conjunction with policy DJF purchasing, and our board coordinator is making this presentation as well.
Thank you, Dr. Patton. So since 2010, the board and the district has utilized a paperless governance platform. And so we started out with board docs. And then in 2024, the board approved us to move on to Diligent Community. And so Diligent Community serves the district as a centralized governance platform, managing different aspects of the board meetings, as you all are looking at your agenda items now. And so this renewal I'm bringing forward is for one-time 40% discount for the 2026 school year in the amount of $12,398.17 versus the $20,000 that we are originally going to be charged for it. And so that's a $8,265 savings. And so in addition to that, Diligent will waive our standard 5% annual increase for the 27-28 school year. And so that will result in no increase. And so funding for this renewal will be paid out of our technology budget, but Dr. Larry was unable to be here. So there's going to be a recommendation later in the meeting for you to approve the continuation of diligent community for the 26-27 school year and for the 27-28, which it'll be brought back next year. But in order for us to take advantage of that $8,000, they definitely want us to stay. Are there any questions, comments, feedback?
Did you do the negotiation?
I did.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I asked.
You have not because you asked not.
Amen. All right, so there's no questions.
I wonder if that was because of the commercial. What do you think?
Yes, it may have
Yes.
been because of the commercial that I did for Diligent.
She did.
They're using me to promote their Diligent community platform, and I'm honored because I've been a longstanding client through the district with them since 2010.
Yep, very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Oh, no, Ms. Fields, you stay right there because you also have the next one. The proposed resolution on Amendment 5.
Yes, that I'm going to tag team with Ms. Lane. So the Missouri School Board Association has developed a resolution that's encouraging our local school boards to promote awareness about Amendment 5. And so Amendment 5 will appear on the August 4th primary election ballot. And so we want to make the community aware of this, right? We can't advocate either way, but we can provide them with the awareness. And so Ms. Lane has the resolution, if you would like to share the resolution. And this item will also be brought back later in the meeting for the board to decide.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Fields.
You're welcome.
So the resolution speaks, whereas the Missouri Constitution, Article 9, Section 1A, mandates that the General Assembly establish and maintain free public schools for the gratuitous instruction of all persons in this state between the ages of 5 and 21 years. And whereas the state of Missouri's whereas the state income tax is Missouri's single largest source of general revenue, generating more than 8.4 billion annually, more than 60% of all state revenue collections, which funds the essential services of state government, including K-12 public education. And whereas the largest single appropriation of Missouri's general revenue is the foundation formula, the primary mechanism by which the state distributes funding to local school districts to support the education of Missouri's public school students. And whereas in fiscal year 2027, the Missouri General Assembly appropriated $4.2 billion for the foundation formula, of which $2.5 billion was from general revenue. And whereas the fiscal year 2027 budget underfunded the foundation formula by $190 million, marking the first shortfall of the foundation formula in the last decade. And whereas Missouri ranks near the bottom in state per pupil education spending, reflecting a persistent pattern of state education funding that lags behind the national average and the demonstrated needs of Missouri school children. And whereas Amendment 5 proposed to amend the Missouri Constitution to require yet to be elected legislators to phase out the individual state income tax by 2032, replacing it with expanded sales and use taxes, suspend constitutional limits on taxing goods and services, suspend voter constitutionally required voter approval on new taxes, and require local tax rate cuts without reducing school funding if local sales tax revenue increases. And whereas the Board of Education recognizes that the potential elimination of more than 60% of the state general fund and its replacement with a restructured tax system raises significant questions regarding the long-term stability of foundation formula funding and the district's ability to fulfill its constitutional and educational mission to the students it serves. And whereas the Board of Education is committed to the long-term fiscal solvency of the district and to provide a high-quality education to every student within its attendance area, and understands that stable, predictable state revenue is essential to fulfilling that commitment. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Riverview Garden School District urges all community members, parents, staffs, and residents within the district's attendance area to seek out information about Amendment 5, including its potential implications for state general revenue, the foundation formula, and local school district funding in order to make a fully informed decision before casting their vote. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education further urges every eligible constituent within the district's attendance area to participate in the August 4th, 2026 primary election.
Thank you, Ms. Lang, for reading that. I just wanted to reiterate that the proposed resolution does not advocate for or against Amendment 5. It just basically shows the board's commitment to informing the community. And so I wanted to make sure that I included that. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions about that? Okay. Our next item up for discussion is the tax anticipation note. This item is being presented in conjunction with policy DC, taxing and borrowing authority and limitations. The Riverview Garden School Districts rely heavily on local property tax as its primary source for the district's operations. These revenues are typically received during designated times of the fiscal year, while our expenditures continue, benefits continue, payroll continue, our operating costs continue. Typically, school districts receive funding from state aid in October, and then through October, November, December, January, and February, that's when we will start to get the rest of the state aid as well as property tax. Between the months of June and between the months of late January, February through June, usually it is delinquent taxes that we are receiving, as well as our reimbursements for federal spending. The district is currently experiencing a temporary cash flow gap between required operating expenditures and receipts of anticipated tax revenue. To ensure that the district can continue to meet all financial obligations, including payroll and essential operating expenses, the administration is requesting to explore the possibility of obtaining a tax anticipation note. The use of a tax anticipation note is a standard, is fiscally responsible practice used by many school districts to address timing differences between revenue collection and expenditures. A tax anticipation note provides short-term funding to support district operations, is secured by anticipated property taxes, will be repaid upon receipt of county tax collections, and does not constitute a long-term debt for the district. To ensure the district can continue to meet all financial obligations, including payroll and essential operating experiences, it is recommended that the board authorize administration the opportunity to explore the issuance of a tax anticipation note in the amount not to exceed $15 million. The administration will seek the most favorable interest rate and bring the resolution back to the board for review and consideration. This item will be, will come back under items for action. Are there any questions?
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Question. Dr. Patton, do we know, regarding the interest rate, I know you guys, but have you explored what it could be like, how much interest or will we probably pay on the 15 million?
No, we've contacted 3 banks and they're going to let us know. So we're getting that information so that we can get an idea of the interest rate.
Okay, and then we would pay this back once we receive the revenue? from the
Yes,
tax?
ma'am. Once we receive the tax payments from our residents, we will pay the loan back. We have a year to pay it back, but our plan is to pay it back once we receive our revenue.
And then if we don't take out the 15 million, we won't make payroll and other expenses?
If we don't take out the 15 million, it will be very difficult to meet all of our obligations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions? Please. Any more questions from any board member, please? Okay.
Thank you. The next item up for discussion is the alternative methods of instruction, our AMI plan. Making this presentation is Dr. Joel Ramsdale, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. And this is in conjunction with Policy IC Academic Calendar. You can raise the microphone.
I know, I was just being silly. Good evening,
He's making fun of you.
President Lane, members of the board, Superintendent Patton, colleagues, and community members. Before you tonight is our Riverview Gardens School District Inclement Weather and Alternative Method of Instruction Operation Guide for this upcoming school year. The plan directly supports our district's priority of ensuring the effective management of fiscal and non-fiscal resources to maximize student learning. The core purpose of this operation guide is to guarantee continuous high-quality learning during unexpected emergency closures such as inclement weather or facility crises without extending our academic school year. As governed by Missouri legislation, section 171.033 and DESE guidelines, this framework allows us to implement up to 36 hours of remote instruction annually. To ensure a seamless transition when emergencies strike, the guide outlines clear parameters for the 4 different distinct school statuses, such as school closures, AMI days, 2-hour delayed start, and early release. For designated AMI days, our operational focus centers on accessibility, equity, and accountability. Instruction is designated to be asynchronous and flexible, ensuring digital and educational equity for all. It focuses strictly on reinforcing and reviewing previously covered instructional material rather than introducing new content. To ensure structured support for our scholars, teachers will work from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. to support students and families with asynchronous learning. Participation and accountability are key to ensuring we are not losing our forward momentum towards accreditation. This is new. Our student attendance is validated strictly through verified completion of submission of assignments. Due to block scheduling at the high school, the following change is being implemented. We are measuring attendance by the next day of in-person attendance for the students' scheduled classes. That way, if a student has a block class on the next day, and they're not in that block schedule, they have until the following day to turn it in, so we will not miss any attendance. This guide provides our staff, families, and community with the predictable structured communication channels they need before winter weather arrives. Thank you, and I'm happy to address any immediate questions. This will be presented and requesting your consent and approval later in this meeting.
Any questions?
Yes. Something else. So, how many days do they get before they have to make up days?
So we now, the state allows us to measure by minute, but literally by minute. So they have to have a specific number of instructional minutes per year. These AMI days equate to about 5 days, 36 hours is about 5 days. And then we have a few extra days built into our calendar annually. So we're at about 7, 8 days before we start having to make them up.
Okay, now, why does the rural area not have to make up those days?
Say that one more time, please.
Why does the rural areas of Missouri do not have to make up any days?
That is a great question. Having lived in Kansas City and we saw our neighbors to the east in rural areas suffer that same consequence. When there is hardship of transportation, there is grace provided in regards to that time, and they will give them extra work that will make up that time and provide that flexibility in a different manner.
Who gives the grace?
The
The
state,
state.
So it's arbitrary.
I wouldn't say arbitrary, but if I live in a rural area and I only have buses that drive down gravel roads, and we have 8 inches of snow and it's already hard enough to drive on a gravel road, they then extend because they can't necessarily go and scrape clean the gravel road. So they are going to accrue more snow days than we do because we have the facilities and the equipment to clean our roads in a much faster manner. So there is grace provided.
So I guess I didn't understand because it says that districts are not required to make up lost or canceled school hours up to 36.
Correct.
So that means up to 36 hours, we don't have to make that up.
Up to 36, we don't. If we start exceeding 36 and we then exceed what we have built in as our cushion of extra minutes, then we make those up.
But we have built-in days into our calendar already for snow days. So that's why there are times when we cancel school because of the snow, and it's not an AMI day, it's just a snow day because we have those days built in that we don't have to make up. The 5 days though are for AMI instruction at home. So they give us up to 5 days to do the virtual instruction.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Okay, thank you. Our next item up for discussion is the 2026-27 Professional Development Plan. Dr. Ramsdale is also making this presentation, and this is in conjunction with Policy DIAA, Annual Budget and Fund Balance. Dr. Ramsdale.
Good evening again. We are presenting tonight for your review and discussion, the Riverview Gardens District Professional Learning Plan for the upcoming school year. This plan is explicitly engineered to improve Tier 1 instruction, the quality of that and the capacity building of our teachers. To maximize student achievement, we are implementing key shifts in our curriculum and instruction. The first is evidence-based literacy. We are transitioning from general letters training to highly focused named programs. We'll be using UFly for grades K through 2 and Amplify CKLA for grades 3 through 5 while retaining Aspire training for our secondary teachers. We are elevating our MTSS, our multi-tiered system of supports, as it will now be our primary vehicle for academic intervention, introducing dedicated services, especially for our secondary grades, to ensure that we are assisting them in closing their gaps. We have additionally started looking and built our program to include our classified, our non-certified staff. So this is in direct response to our educator feedback. So we are including them. And then we also surveyed our classified staff, our teachers, and their primary request has been for de-escalation techniques. So we will be addressing those. We are expanding the reach of this professional development, as I mentioned. We are also now going to be tailoring these sessions to be differentiated. So we'll be differentiating support for teachers based on experience for early career, 0 to 3 years, mid-year, 4 to 9 years, and our veteran teachers. This plan is highly responsive to our current academic trajectory, as well as directly addressing our staff identified needs. Also, we have achieved these enhancements while exercising strict fiscal responsibility. We've reduced the total PD budget by 14% for the upcoming school year, down from $243,000 to $209,000 by streamlining our overlapping vendor expenses and retiring several of our legacy programs. This plan establishes a highly accountable data responsive framework that highly equips our educators for success while maintaining strict financial stability. I'm happy to address any questions you may have.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Ramsdale, did you say that something will replace letters training?
So the letters training is no longer mandated by the state. So we are focusing on the science of reading, and we'll be using UFly and our new resource that you all approved. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ramsdale. Our next item up for discussion are memorandums of understanding for the student support services. Making this presentation is Ms. Deirdre Liddell, Executive Director of Student and Community Services, and this is in conjunction with policy DJF purchasing.
Greetings again. Memorandums of understanding are essential to the success of our district as they facilitate valuable external support that enhance the educational experience and overall well-being for our students. We are very fortunate to have many of these free services available during the day, integrated thoughtfully within instruction time, as well as those programs that extend beyond the regular school hours for our scholars. Our MOUs help our parents and the overall success of our scholars. The MOUs that I'm bringing forth today are Jewish Family Services, Job Corps, Prevent Ed, the Little Bit Foundation, Homebound, Healthy Kids Express, and Chaz Coalition. Lutheran Family Services is a mental health provider. They're one of our therapeutic resources that is housed within our school buildings. Job Corps provides career exploration, workforce development, and post-secondary opportunities for eligible scholars. Prevent Ed is a substance use prevention, early intervention services, and staff training, and they promote healthy decision-making and reducing risky behaviors. The Little Bit Foundation helps with food, clothing items, backpacks, school supplies, health resources, and family assistance. Homebound services ensure that our scholars who are unable to attend school due to medical or qualifying circumstances continue to receive education. Healthy Kids Express includes physicals, immunizations, preventative care, and virtual mental health services. Chaz Coalition is suicide prevention programming, mental health awareness education, staff training, crisis support, and connections to community mental health resources. We track all of our outcomes for our MOUs. The legal reference for the MOUs, these MOUs are pending review due to some changes within the MOUs, as well as a new partner being added. The recommendation is for the Office of Student Support Services respectfully request the approval of the attached MOUs at the next board meeting. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
How are these programs implemented?
I'm sorry.
How are the programs implemented into the school?
Okay, so the programs look a little bit different for each school. So when we have Lutheran Family Services offers therapeutic support. So we have embedded therapists within our district. Lutheran Family Support covers part of our district for our therapists that are embedded within the buildings. So the students receive mental health services there within the buildings. Job Corps for our high school scholars, for post-secondary options, as well as career exploration and different programs for them. Prevent Ed comes in to our classrooms for substance use and substance abuse training to talk to students about substances and different things. But then also, if we have a student that is caught with some type of substance, they're able to go to Prevent Ed as a resource to help them through their use treatment. The Little Bit Foundation is embedded in all of our schools. We have closets for Little Bit Foundation. So if students are needing any type of toiletries, clothes, uniforms, different things like that, they can go to the Little Bit closet. But Little Bit also helps us house our food stores within our district. As well as they give us the backpacks, the clear backpacks at the very beginning of the year. Little Bit does a lot, and have a lot of services within our district. They also have some different robotics programs and different things within our district as well. Healthy Kids Express, they provide the immunizations for our students. So they have the van that comes in and does the immunizations. The van will actually be at Back to School Bash. And we also have some other times where they come in to do their immunizations and physicals for students. But they also have mental health support that's virtual. So if we have students that are not seeing our therapists within the day, or if our therapists that are embedded within our day has an overflow or a waiting list, then they can do the virtual care still at school with a therapist on the computer. And then Chaz Coalition comes in and does classroom lessons for our scholars, but then they also do the training for our staff as well for suicide prevention. So most of ours are embedded, but they do help at events and, after hours as well.
Ms. Liddell, last weekend, there was a tragedy that happened technically it was not within our school district, but it was on Bell Fountain Road, so it sort of got linked into what's happening in Bell Fountain, and it really wasn't.
Okay.
But there've been a lot of community conversations about youth and what are the school districts doing to help address these stressful situations where lots of people are gathering more than who was invited and those kind of things. So I listened to one of those meetings, and St. Louis County prosecutor was in attendance at one of those meetings and talked about their role in coming into some schools, districts to discuss, let's just say, the consequences of poor decisions. And she mentioned a few school districts. Have we ever had the St. Louis County prosecutor come and speak to our students?
We have not. We have not, and we definitely welcome them to come in to speak to our students. One thing that we did add last year is a DJO who works with students that do not have that are not involved with the court yet. So it's like a it's preventative care with caseloads. So so she's able to see them, and she goes back and forth between both of our middle schools. We have asked, her caseload has gotten pretty big, pretty large. So she's pretty popular. So we have asked for another person for this upcoming school year. So we're in talks to expand that piece. However, we definitely welcome St. Louis County prosecutor in.
So can we talk about getting in touch with them and
Well,
making that happen?
Yes, I believe that we had conversations with them last year. It was the county prosecutor. And we had conversations with them last year about bringing them into our school district.
Okay.
I attended a community violence meeting in, I think it would have been Hazelwood, and she was there. I can't remember, it was Melissa.
Yes, Melissa
Yes.
Price, I think is her name.
Yeah.
She's a fairly new.
New, right,
counter-
yes. And we've had
counter-
conversations with them about bringing them in, Ms. Liddell. So I would just reach out to them again and see when they can come into our district, because she talked to me then about coming in and talking to our high school students, more of a prevention, just kind of supporting them through good decision-making and what happens if. So,
Okay, and you said Melissa Price?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's her last name, but she's St.
Yeah.
Louis.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. She's
we
a
have her
prosecutor.
contact.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, our next item up for discussion is the disproportionality MOU with the Special School District. Ms. Liddell is also making this presentation, and this is in conjunction with policy DJF purchasing.
Through disproportionality funds, Special School District has committed to supporting Riverview Gardens in the commitment of ensuring that our faculty and staff have disproportionality funds to assist in reducing the suspension rate and improving the overall culture of our district. This MOU has been previously vetted by legal. This is a reimbursable grant in the amount of $450,000. This amount has been budgeted. It is recommended that the Riverview Gardens Board of Education approve the MOU with the Special School District to reimburse Riverview Gardens for the above mentioned items to be reimbursed at a cost not to exceed $450,000. This MOU includes 2 RTI interventionists, 1 MTSS coordinator, social emotional curriculum K through 8, external providers, and additional professional development material and resources. Are there any questions?
All right,
Thank you.
Ms. Liddell, thank you. Our next item up for discussion are athletics extracurricular activities. Making this presentation is our athletic director, Mr. Zachary Therwalker, and this is in conjunction with IGD, district-sponsored extracurricular activities and groups. Mr. Therwalker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Everyone. I'm asking that we fund the stipends for the athletics not to exceed $226,065. That'll cover high school, middle school, and elementary athletics. I also want to pipe in on what Ms. Liddell was talking about, Little Bit Foundation,
There we go.
the new baseball stadium that we're building. Little Bit Foundation donated the commercial grade pitching machine, turf, and netting that are going on. So that was one of the things that she was talking about that they work with us on. So they made sure that we had that instead of Normandy. So that was sweet of them to do that.
Are there any questions? And that's Mr. Therwalker. All right.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you.
Our next item up for discussion, Ms. Tejan, you're gonna have to top that, get straight to the point. Is the JAG MOU making this presentation?
Set the bar so high.
He did. Our College and Career Coordinator, Ms. Khadijah Tejan. This is in conjunction with DD grants, policy DD grants.
Good evening, not special administrator, but, good evening, school district, see, you messed me up. The school board, sorry. Oh, okay. Good evening, Riverview Gardens School Board, Dr. Patton, colleagues, and community. Before you is an MOU for Jobs for America graduates, also known as JAG. The JAG program is a program that focuses on college and career readiness, academic success, community service, and career exploration. Just for some context, because I know we have a few new people, JAG is a cohort of 45 students in grades 11 and 12 that focus on employability skills, career exploration, and those students also receive 12 months of post-graduation support. It also supports the growth of soft skills through workshops and conferences such as Skills USA. By approving this MOU, we are able to accept $28,000 grant from the Missouri Department of Social Services. This MOU is in alignment with our CSIP goal of college and career readiness, strategy 4, action step 6. As we continue to support our students in the areas of college and career readiness and post-secondary success, it is recommended that the school board approves this MOU. Are there any questions? How about that?
Oh, you did good.
There,
Way to
listen,
go.
listen, set the bar so high.
All right, thank you, Ms. Teachen.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Ross, dun, dun, dun. Our next item up for discussion is the Creator Loop MOU. Making this a presentation is Ms. Tanya Ross. She is our ELA and Science Curriculum Coordinator, and this is in conjunction with Policy IGA Basic Instructional Programs. Ms. Ross?
Good evening, Dr. Patton,
Good evening.
our board president, Ms. Lane, and of our board members, colleagues on tonight. I'm just gonna ditto that about Little Bit Foundation. They donated over 11,000 books to our scholars. That's K through 5. I'm sorry, K through 12. I'm here tonight to offer up for renewal services from Creator Loop. Creator Loop provides computer science learning opportunities to 2 of our schools. This is the request on tonight for Koch and for Westview Middle. And when you think about computer science, how many of you have a cell phone? What would you do without it?
Have peace.
Yeah, especially if somebody texts you. Yeah, I get you. But in the real world, we really couldn't live without our cell phones. When you think about computer science is computational. Teaches our students for computational thinking. It's to take the science to the computer. Just like if you would think science in terms of a core study, our body, our community, our, things like that. Computer science is the science behind computers. And so at the elementary level, our students get coding experience. They get robotics. At the secondary level, they get coding as well. They also get gaming. They also get game design, just to name a few. And so we are asking to renew this partnership with Creator Loop. Is no cost to the district. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Ross.
Thank you.
Good job, Ms. Ross. Our next item up for discussion are policy recommendations. Making this presentation is Ms. Jennifer Williams, our Human Resource Manager, and this is in conjunction with Policy CH, Policy Implementation and Dissemination. Ms. Williams.
Good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Patton, community, and colleagues. Tonight, I will be presenting 4 policies for discussion. The first policy is Policy GECA-2, Eligibility to Enroll. This policy establishes the requirements for student enrollment, residency verification, and eligibility to attend Riverview Garden School District. The revisions required by Senate Bill 68 expand the board's authority to allow eligible children of district contractors and contractor employees to enroll tuition-free under specified conditions and permit students to finish the school year if a parent's employment or contract ends. The recommendation is that the board will adopt the policy as presented by MSBA. The second policy is Policy JHG, Reporting and Investigating Child Abuse and Neglect. This policy outlines the district's responsibility for reporting suspected child abuse and neglect, including the duties of mandated reporters, staff training, and cooperation with state investigations. The revisions are required by House Bill 737. It's updated the definition of neglect to clarify that age-appropriate independent activities alone do not constitute neglect when a child's health and safety are not endangered. It is recommended that the district adopt the policy revisions as presented by MSBA. The third policy is Policy JHBF, Suicide Awareness and Prevention. This policy establishes the district's procedures for suicide awareness, prevention, intervention, and postvention to support the safety and well-being of students. The revisions are required by Senate Bill 68. Expand behavior threat assessments to include suicidal ideations, require the sharing of applicable personal safety plans when students transfer, and mandate the inclusion of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline of student identification cards for grades 7 through 12, and this was beginning July 1, 2025. It is recommended that the district adopt this policy as presented by MSBA as well. The last policy is policy JHDE, the Behavior Threat Assessment. This policy provides a structured process for identifying, assessing, and responding to behaviors that may threaten the safety of students, staff, and school community. The revisions are required by Senate Bill 68. It renamed the policy to Behavior Threat Assessment, and it expanded assessments to include students demonstrating suicidal ideation, established requirements for personal safety plans, and require districts to share threat assessment records with another Missouri school district when required by law. The recommendation is for the district to adopt the policy changes as presented by MSBA. Are there any questions? Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Madam Chair, that concludes my items for discussion.
So now we're up to items for action.
Items for action. Mhm.
So I need a motion to accept these items for action, correct? Am I correct? So, on each one, individually or collectively. Well, we had discussion, we had the presentations, we had discussion, we asked questions. So can we get a motion to adopt the items for action as presented on this evening?
So moved.
Madam Chair, I'll second.
Thank you. It has been motioned by Ms. Williams and second by Ms. Morreal. Are there any questions? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Now, we're up to one last thing. Election of our board secretary and treasurer. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And Shay gave me something to read. In accordance with Board Policy BCA, Board Reorganizational Meeting, the board shall on or before July 15 of each year elect a secretary and a treasurer who will assume their respective duties on July 15. The secretary and treasurer may or may not be members of the board. All votes are taken by voice vote, show of hands, or another method of voting that clearly reveals each member's votes. Secret ballots are not permitted by law. So I would like to make a motion to nominate Ms. Jackson for treasurer.
I'll second.
Okay, so the motion was made by Ms. Titsworth, second by Ms. Morreal. All in favor? No, we got to roll call it because it is a vote. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, have it. Thank you, Ms. Jackson, for serving. We appreciate it. Now we have a a recommendation for secretary. A nomination.
I nominate Shay Fields to retain the position as board secretary.
It's been motioned and second to retain Ms. Shay Fields as board secretary. Now, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but you didn't ask her if she accepted the nomination.
Ms. Fields, do you accept this nomination? Thank you.
Yes. Hope y'all didn't get that on camera.
Yes.
Yes.
May
I
we-
accept on Shay's behalf for that.
Thank you. Appreciate you. So now may we have a motion for adjournment?
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Tisworth, second by Ms. Moore. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed? Good night, everybody.